We're back with part two of our conversation with John Ciafone, a candidate for a county-wide Queens County judge, civil court judge. And you were very forthcoming with your answers in the first round. I want to put you on the spot a little bit. I got a tough question for you. With you talked earlier about your admiration for the founding fathers and how brilliant they were with the separation of different parts of our government and judicial and legislative. But what happens for you, and when you you're a judge, and suddenly you've got rules saying that they're going to release all these prisoners from jail because of the pandemic, and then there's the no bail, and you're a judge. How do you have to deal with something like that?
It's a great question. It's a tough question. Every case is different, and as a lawyer, and particularly as a judge, which I do hearings and trials with oath, you see every case is different. Every fact is different. As judges, we have to follow the law. We're given the law, we follow the law. And we have to follow the law. Otherwise, we're appealed and we're reversed. We didn't do our jobs. However, in this context of your question is a great question. The issue of bail. There's a list of crimes where you don't have to have bail, and then the others you do. As a judge, I would look at the defendant and make sure that that person would be a safe person to let out if bail is not required. But if bail is, but if that person is a threat, I would reconsider, and I would institute bail if I felt that person was a threat to the community, to the citizenry of this county. However, I'm obligated to follow the law, and I will do the best I can to follow the law.
So I know that's a tough one. I think I'd hate to be put in that position when I've seen some decisions being made that I might not agree with, or that I know is going to impact me in a negative way, because it's certainly going to bring a lot more cases to you. Do you anticipate, especially because of the pandemic and the crisis and the quarantining and the shutting down of businesses, what kind of cases do you anticipate you're going to have to be seeing?
It's a great question. You have tremendous economic damage from stores not being able to pay rent, residential tenants not being able to pay rent, creditors going after debtors, people not being able to pay their credit card bills, their mortgages, their credit lines. It's going to get flooded. The court is going to get flooded, just like the surrogate court is going to get flooded with death cases as a result of the pandemic for all the people that died in such a short period of time. The civil court is also going to get flooded with these economic civil cases where people are suffering. And you need the right temperament as a judge to help people, and I'm that kind of temperament. I've shown myself through being an administrative law judge and hearing officer oath that I work well with people and I assist people as best I can. And I have a record of doing that, and I will continue that tradition when I get elected to the Civil Court of Queens County, which I hope the viewers are able to do. Elect me to Civil Court Judge. I'm a Democrat on the Democratic Party line.
So I'm gonna do something again. All the years of working over at CBS News and under Don Hewitt and being in the control room with him and Mike Wallace, something that I heard from them is asking a question that we haven't prepped him with this question. I'm going to throw you a hard one now. Yeah. So if elected, you're going to become a judge. You're going to be sitting on the bench for a long time. You're going to be trying a lot of cases. As a human being, as a person, as a man, as a judge, is there anything that you want to bring to that chair that when you retire, you'll be able to look back and say, they remember me because of this? What would be your legacy? What would be your landmark?
It's a great question. And I think back as a young lawyer, the judges that had the tremendous impression upon us as young lawyers, we talk among our colleagues, to me, were the judges that had great temperament, that were nice, that were pleasant. When you walked into the courtroom, you felt relaxed. I will never forget the immigrant story. My father would always tell me, being afraid to go to court. Going to court was a thing, fear would consume the whole person.
A little worse than going to the dentist.
Correct. and we've got to go back to the time where people feel comfortable, particularly if they don't have a great attorney with them or a big law firm. If they don't have the money to hire an attorney, that person has to feel comfortable. That person has to feel that the judge is looking out for their interests and trying to make the field level as it is supposed to be. The role of the judge is to make sure each side starts at a level playing field so that justice is rendered. And to me, when I look back at great judges, those are the judges that are great to me. The judges who had empathy, understanding of the litigants and where they come from and where the problems emanated. And I think as an attorney that has dealt with thousands of families in Queens County, I have that unique experience because I've dealt with all kinds of people, immigrants, illegal immigrants, wealthy people, and lots of poor people. I've dealt with lots of poor people against the Goliaths. And I enjoy that. I enjoy leveling the playing field, and I'll do that as a judge. I promise you'll get the respect that you deserve, when you walk into that courtroom, and you'll get the justice that you deserve when you walk into the courts.
All right, you heard it here first. We're going to be back again for another interview with John from our junior reporter, Cassie Nadena. She's going to interview the judge from a different perspective. The lawyer, the candidate for judge. And again, thank you very much for giving us this time. We're looking forward to hearing from you and through the eyes of and questions from Cassie. So thanks again.
Thank you, Gregg Sullivan. I appreciate it. And Bayside Live TV, thank you as well.